for tuning in to
Live with Nick Nasty, Season
2. Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to Live with Nick Nasty,
Season 2, Episode 6.
I have a very special guest in the studio today.
Mr. Paul Turnberg.
Paul, I got you in the studio. What are you doing, man?
Vaping and drinking tequila. What are you doing, man?
I haven't talked to you in a while. I know I hit you up about a week ago. I was like, hey, man, this is my number. What's been going on? How you been? You know, we're going to get right into the meat of the matter, if you will. 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, we met at a bar called Legends.
Oh, hell yeah.
Downtown, which we raised a bunch of hell down there. We probably learned each other's favorite drinks down there.
Yes, sir.
We played a lot of pool down there.
Yes, sir.
But more than anything, you got back into music down there.
Yeah, about 2 years ago, yep.
A lot of live music was down there. We brought in a lot of cool talent. We had a lot of cool shows. We'd been kind of shooting the shit a little bit off and on, and you had mentioned that you did a lot of music back in the day, and you wanted to kind of get back into it, and that's exactly what the fuck you did.
Yes, sir.
And that's what you've been doing. So when it comes to music and where you're at in music, what have you been doing since I met you at first when you first got into getting back into it compared to what you're doing now with your music?
Well, there was a time I fell off the bandwagon, but when I started getting back into it, I think I played about 6 hours a day because I have a job too. Now I'm kind of back on the bandwagon.
So that's how you got into getting your chops back.
Yep.
You first just got your guitar up, got up and just started playing.
Yep, took about a year, but I just started playing. I followed Bernth for a while. He's a real good instructor online, and just played every spare minute I had. I kind of obsessed with it, and after about a year, I think I'm back to where I was back when I was a kid.
What kind of things when you were getting your chops back, were you creating then too, or were you kind of playing your favorite shit, or was it kind of a mix?
No, you're definitely creating. I mean, you want to put an hour or two into practice every day, but you need to take that extra hour to be creative and apply what you're learning. Mm-hmm. You absolutely have to do that. Yep.
That's about all I can do. Every free minute that I have to do something like this, I like focusing on my own creativity or helping the creativity of someone else over learning that hit from the 80s or that hit from the 90s.
Yeah. You got to get past the bed.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to sit down and just learn somebody else's shit unless it's like a friend.
I usually don't play covers.
Yeah?
Yeah, I usually just make my own stuff. A lot of times I record songs and I don't even know what I played. Like I couldn't play it again.
Yeah.
I just do the first take.
Kind of a freestyle, and then you're like, oh shit, I hope I can figure out what I did.
Yeah, I play it and it goes out to YouTube. Now, if I find a song I really like, I'll go back and learn it.
Back a little bit on your life with music. What are some of your actual influences? You know, growing up, what kind of influenced you, and what are some of your main influences now? Do you draw influence from other music, or is it just kind of you just trying to like put out what's inside you?
I put out what's inside me, but every musician has their influences. Metallica was big when I was young, and they're still big now, and I still listen. Mm-hmm. Slipknot, Disturbed, Korn, some of the...
So you're into more of the heavier progressive music, huh?
Yeah, back when I was a kid, it was Iron Maiden, AC/DC, Rush.
Okay.
Just some of the bigger bands, Led Zeppelin.
That's cool. So when you get up and you turn on the rock station, that's what was kind of keeping you moving back in the day, huh?
Yep, it's always been rock. I like dubstep. I listen to some EDM and some really classical.
And you just lose your shit. I can see you just losing your shit on some dubstep, just like getting you a pocket full of buttery nipples.
That stuff's awesome.
Fucking getting it, huh?
Those dances, man, they're freaky, man. So those guys.
Man, we're in the studio with Paul Turnberg. I appreciate him being in here. We're going to listen to a couple songs. We got some Mad Anthony coming up and maybe a little Brian Himes or something. We were talking about this new bar that's here in Cynthiana. What was it, the Maiden City?
Yeah, they moved up down the street. It's on 62.
Paul was telling me that place kicks ass and it's a lot of good time. My homie Dead Air Dennis and Brian Himes plays there. It seems like about once a month. So check them out. We'll be listening to this is one of my favorite music videos by Mad Anthony, and we'll be back with more.
Live with Nick Nasty, Season 2, Episode 6.
Hey, I'm Ryan the Lion. If you want to check out me and my music and my new podcast, Nick's Mayhem Music Review, go to SkullFace Records.
SkullFace Records.
We talk a bit and then we pass the wine around. We pass that wine around. But then I'm happy drinking on Willie's wine. I'll be so happy drinking on Willie's wine. I get high. Oh, I get high. My baby, I tried to say I loved her, but she wouldn't listen. Why should I bother with her? Why should I bother with her? Yeah, yeah. Now you know that I'm happy drinking on Willie's wine. I'll be so happy drinking on Willie's wine. I get high. I get high. I get high. No, I get high. I get high. Oh, Willie's wine.
SkullFace Records Radio, motherfuckers.
And we're back.
You know. So, Paul, I'm looking out the window, okay, and we've had a rough couple of days, it seems like, here. We've had some illness in the family and stuff and some worries, and we were planning on having this big old party tonight. We were going to fucking kick ass and get down. I was just sitting around. I looked out the window. I think I was playing some PlayStation or something. I looked out the window, and I see a dude going by on a motorcycle, and where I'm at, you don't see a dude on a motorcycle that much.
Very few dudes on motorcycles in this neighborhood.
And I looked at him, I was like, that's fucking Paul. I was like, huh? Who? I was like, that's fucking Paul. I forgot I invited him over. I was like, it's Paul. Let's hang out. She was like, okay.
Well, that's good you came out because I couldn't find your damn house.
I seen you looking at the neighbor's house. If you were the mail truck, you'd have just threw the mail over there. That's what they do.
He probably wouldn't have answered his door, man.
No, he's kind of a cool guy. He would have been like, you're looking for Nick.
All right.
I 100% know you're looking for Nick. Out of all the neighbors that we have here on this street, the neighbor directly across the street's the only one that talks to me.
Oh,
He will speak to me. He'll say hi. He'll talk to me, ask me how I'm going. I still don't know the name of the other two neighbors.
Does he carry his laundry in a hamper in the front yard?
They stare at my wife, but they don't talk to me very much. So I'm in the studio with Paul Turnberg. Am I saying your last name correctly?
Yeah, that's it. Turnberg.
Where's that from? I've never heard that last name before.
It's Swedish or German.
I knew you would know.
I originated from Europe.
Okay.
Or at least my ancestors did, so.
That's cool, man. Hitting onto your music, man, it interests me because when I met you, I couldn't perceive the style that you were going to purvey with your music. I didn't know what to expect because a lot of people have approached me with, hey, I'm going to do this. I'd love to do this. And I used to play music back in the day. And a lot of times it's just like, oh, okay, cool, cute. But when you started putting out your music, I was like, this guy's got like an edge to him. Like he's got something that's a little bit different where he's trying to be original. And when you're making your music, what's your like formula when you come to it? I know when we went to the liquor store earlier, because you know when me and Paul together, we be drinking. So we talked a little bit of music, but what's kind of, when you're setting up your studio and you know that you got time set aside to do what you like, your passion, what's your formula to go about that?
Well, like earlier this week, I put down a verse, right? And I sung to it, I had the bass to it, I got the lead to it. And today I put down the chorus. I like the chorus, and I like the way the lyrics went with the chorus, but it didn't go with the verse.
So you made up your mind. You're like, hey, I'm going to create a song, and I need a verse, and I need a chorus, and I'm just going to create those individually, and then you draw from what you create to make the next.
Well, I listened to them together, and if they don't mix, like today, they didn't match. There was no good bridge between them, so I redid my verse. I mean, they got a flow, right? So I tend to do things verse, chorus, intro, and then maybe a secondary chorus is a little different, but I have to make them match each other, so I go back and forth.
So you literally have a thing in your head where you're like, you got a mathematical equation that you kind of want to follow when you're going through it. You're like, hey, I'd rather do this first because it seems like it helps me get to the next spot.
Yeah, I go with the intro, then I go with the verse, then I go with the chorus. I flow from one to the other, but if they don't match, I got to go back.
How many songs have you put out? Because you have your own YouTube page, correct? So if you would tell everybody your YouTube page, and make sure if you're listening, you go out there and subscribe, because that's what we're all about here is the local underground indie music, and it don't get much more indie than being out in the country at your place, fucking making tunes, right?
So if you're on Google, you can search for Noble Hangman Heavy Metal, and you'll find the channel. There's a lot of old songs on there that, I don't know, I would almost be embarrassed to put my name on. Some of the newer ones, most of the ones on Spotify don't quite match what's out there, but I decided to leave them all out there because I want to be able to look back and see what I did in the beginning and compare it to what I did later.
See, that's what I like. I've been kind of doing the similar thing for about 13, 14 years now. Going back and seeing the analytics of views and likes and who was watching the stuff compared to now or compared to the past 5 years and doing all that kind of stuff. Just so interesting to me, man.
Man, 12 years, that's a long-ass time, dude.
It really is. It really is, man, and we've stuck to it. Especially over the last 5 years, we've got up to about an average of 50,000 views a year.
Wow.
Yeah, and
nice.
And that's something that everybody, I'm proud of, my wife's proud of, and we couldn't do without the help of all the musicians that put out music via us and has faith that we'll promote their stuff and get ears on it. And the people that listen and like. People don't get it, man. Just a little bitty share and a like is, it can go a long way.
Oh, man, it's golden. It makes my day when someone subscribes. Yeah. I've only got like 28 subscribers.
I literally text you the other day, and one thing you text back, you're like, dude, I fucking got a fucking follow or a share or a like or whatever. Or a
follower, yeah.
Yeah, a follower.
Subscriber.
Yeah, subscriber. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. It makes you feel good because when you put all this work into it, you don't really expect anyone to give a fuck. So when they do, you're like, oh, man, that's nice.
Yeah.
Because you put so much into it.
There's 9 billion people in the world, and most of them don't know you and don't care.
Most of them do not give a fuck.
That's right.
So what's your plans, going forward? Do you have plans for like an EP?
Yeah, man.
For an album? For what's in your head? Where would you like to be in your music career, let's say, 7-8 months from now?
My goal is to have an album released next year, fully mastered and fully
So you're going
done
into sending it off and getting it mastered and doing all that kind of stuff.
Yep, I sent my first song off this week to get mastered by an engineer, and so I'm hoping. I'm thinking it'll sound much better because I'm not a mixer.
Are you nervous, or is it kind of like a kid at, on Christmas? Being
Yeah,
like, I get
more
to,
like the kid on Christmas.
I get
man.
to listen to it.
Hell yeah, I want to hear what he can do with it.
I get to listen to it. That's me too, man. Anytime that I send my music off to someone else to do any kind of work to it, when I get it back, it's such a weird feeling. But I think that feeling is what lets you know that you're doing what you want to do. You know, anything that can make you feel like an 8-year-old kid on Christmas, you can't fucking go wrong with that. Especially,
I'm really hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I won't be disappointed, but the last guy that even touched my song for like 30 minutes, and you know him, right, because he works with you, he just worked miracles on it. I mean, in 30 minutes, he made it sound much better. And,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So...
And it's weird. And the thing with me, I don't want one person to do everything. Like, I might send a couple songs off to this guy, but I don't want all my songs to sound like it's mixed and mastered by that guy.
Yeah.
You know, because that's one thing with mix and mastering. It's an opinion. Like, when you send it off, that guy doesn't know the secret buttons or the secret solution to make it sound its absolute best. They just know how to make it sound the absolute best to them.
Yep.
And that's the fun part, because you could send one track off to this person and it sound one way, and then send it to the another person, it sounds another way, but both ways sound cool, but neither way is the perfect way. And that's the weird thing about music, man. Music can never really be perfect, you know?
Oh, don't I know that? Yeah.
And that might be, if you're like me, that might be what draws you to it. Like, there's no completion to this game. There's no, like, you'll finish a song and it might be like one of the best songs you think you ever wrote.
Absolutely, man. It's a challenge.
But you're ready for the next one.
Every song is a challenge. I've already started my next one, and I'm loving it.
How many songs you got written now, Paul?
Well, I've posted like maybe 25. There's probably 10 or so I haven't posted, and I'm working on them constantly. So, I mean, it's kind of an odd question. I mean, thousands probably is the
that's crazy.
True answer. But
well, that's good then, because you're like me. I might go 6-7 months without writing a word on a piece of paper, but once I start getting into it, man, it's on.
Yeah.
Like, once I get into that mode and I'm ready and I got something on my mind, I like getting it done, man. And it's so therapeutic. Music's one of the most therapeutic things that I can find. Beyond music and all this good stuff that we're talking, man, we're sitting in here, you know, taking some shots, having a good time and all that good stuff. I'd like to come out to your place and record some music and jam with you out there.
You do that, man. You know I'm more comfortable in my house.
Yeah,
so
and I
play
think
a lot more.
We were
fluidly.
talking about that. This could be the next question, man. You know, playing at your house and jamming and getting back into the mode and doing recordings where you're kind of in charge of everything is very rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely.
But playing with other musicians, I feel like sometimes open up doors and open up gates that won't get open when you're just kind of doing things yourself.
That's what I want to do. I mean, I'd like to play with other people. You're gonna get a lot more influence on your song from the bassist or from the other guitarist or from the singer. You're gonna have to bend to meet what they're trying to do, and that it makes the whole thing more interesting.
It just opens up your song, you know, because sometimes you might get stuck in this cycle of what I want to do with this music, but the drummer might, you know, have an idea here. A bass player might have an idea here. To me, sometimes, you know, if I get stuck in a rut to where I don't feel like I'm not creating the way that I want to, just simply going out and jamming with other people sometimes open those doors.
Yeah.
When you were younger playing music and stuff, did you have people you played with at all?
Oh, man. When I was younger, I had people coming into my apartment every day, dozens of people, standing room only. I had one girl named Charlotte. I have no idea if she can hear this ever, but
Charlotte, if you're out there, what up?
Yeah, she would come in and work a puzzle on my desk every day on my living room table. But we had full band in my apartment every day, and I would just quit work and play until I got kicked out.
What were you doing? Were you working? So Paul, but you're saying 20, 25 years ago, you were still working from home?
I wasn't working, man. I would play until I got kicked out of my apartment. I would go get a job, put in a down payment on another apartment, and do it again. So when you ask if I played with other people, yeah, all the time. I mean, that's all I played with. I had a couple albums with a country band.
Oh, cool.
I played with a guy, you know, that did rock. He was a Rush fan, a drummer in high school, and, you know, forward.
So can you remember the first band name that you technically were in when you were younger?
Probably DMZ.
DMZ? What's that short for?
Demilitarized Zone. We actually had T-shirts that were hand airbrushed, and
that's kind of cool.
Well, the picture was cool. I had a half a guy's face, and the other half of his face was a skull because we were anti-war. That was our message. War sucks.
That's cool. That's kind of like the image that I like right now.
Yeah,
like, that's before its time.
Yep. So that was my first. Well, that was the first band I think that actually played. Went to a garage and played. I played at some field parties, some garage
Sweet.
bands, different places.
Is that here in Cynthiana, or where'd you grow up at?
No, that was in Charlotte,
Okay.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
It's a dangerous town, dude.
That's where the Nature Boy Ric Flair's from.
He lived in my back. He lived in the back of my neighborhood, dude.
You're fucking
I
shitting
know
me.
Ric Flair. He would be lifting
The
weights.
fuck?
He earned those muscles, dude. Every day he was in his garage lifting weights.
Dude, Paul just blew my mind.
I could go around the block and he was right there. I knew Wahoo McDaniel, Ric Flair,
McDaniel?
Yeah, woo!
Man, you're talking about
Blackjack Mulligan, yeah.
Man, Paul just blew my mind.
Oh, you're a band? That's very cool. What do you play? Vocals, and bass, drums, and chorus, what we always say. So what kind of music is it? Do you like to sing? Hearing it's complicated, they don't get one thing. We don't know. Never have and never will. This is when the conversation starts to go downhill. We don't know. We wouldn't even if we could. Who says you need to sing in order to be any good? Their expressions start to change and they look dead really confused. If you don't sing, then what exactly is it that you do? I don't know. We play pop rock and that's all I can say. I'm trying, but I can't describe it any other way. We don't know. We are monotone and proud. We feel our need to harmonize. We'll take them fast and loud. We don't know. We wouldn't even if we could. Who says you need to sing in order to be any good? If you find yourself in the dilemma, usually the case. You say your man is wrong, but we look on to their face. And even though they're probably you're still wondering why. When people ask you what you do, you just have to reply. We don't know. Who needs them anyway? We go without them all these years and we're doing okay. We don't know. We wouldn't even if we could. Who says you need to sing in order to be any good?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to SkullFace Records Radio. You guys want to help and maybe own some of your own SkullFace Records merch? Dude, we got mad CDs for $10 a piece. CDs like the Next to Nothing Valenian Split, Brian Himes' 2020 release with SkullFace Records, my newest release, Nick Nasty, Ryan the Lion, the Kentucky's Underground comp series 1 through 6. Those are available right now. $10 shipped straight to your door. Swamped and Ashy, One Part Madness, Anonymous, Cannibalistic, Death Cult. Also at SkullFace Records, we have a whole bunch of cool shirts that are going to be available for $15 shipped. Now, we had a lot of overstock, so the custom colors might not be exactly what you want, but they're $15 shipped right now. Hit me up on Facebook or at nickhimes@gmail.com to make your orders now. Also through Lord Thaddeus, we have some patches, we have some stickers available. Like I said, just hit me up on Facebook or at nickhimes@gmail.com. That's NICHIMES@gmail.com to make your orders now. Don't forget also to check out all of our shows, our programming, our new music releases, our podcast shows. You can see all that on our YouTube page, all over Facebook. Check out our SkullFace Records Bandcamp. That's skullfacerecords.bandcamp for all of our new music releases. You can download, get the digital side of SkullFace Records through our Bandcamp. Thanks. This is Nick Nasty, and thanks for tuning in to SkullFace Records Radio. SkullFace Records.
I'll tell you some lies and make you ashamed. I hope it's okay, okay with you. Oh man, I hope it's okay. Oh man, I hope it's okay.
Buttery nipples are so good.
I remember the first time I heard you order that at the bar. I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? He's like, I really like buttery nipples, man.
And can I have a drink as well?
And I was like, what's going on? And then I had some buttery nipples with you. And I was like, they're pretty fucking good.
That sounds pretty messed up, man.
We went to the liquor store. We got a little bit of tequila, a couple other things. And I was looking down. I was like, look, Paul, this is a fucking buttery nipple shot. It's there. I was like, who would have thought? He's like, give me the rest of them. We'll go ahead and take the rest of these. I thought you took one at the liquor store.
I don't know how many we took. I think it was like 3.
Was it 3? Yeah,
I've already drank them all, though, but they're good.
Yeah, they go down easy, man. And they got the good aftertaste. We have a real big surprise. We are going to be debuting one of Paul's songs here live on the show. Later on, we will be releasing this song on the YouTube page so everyone can check it out on there. But we're going to be releasing a new song right here in about 5 minutes. But leading up to it, Paul, I'd like to talk about this song and maybe how you came up with it, what's the background on it, what's it about, and all that good stuff.
This is actually an odd one. It's about Satan trying to go to Earth with Eve from the Garden of Eden. So he wants her to fall to Earth with him, which is his prison.
What's this called again? Cycles?
Cycles. Yeah, the title doesn't really jive well with the story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just it's the devil, and basically, or maybe it's Monster. The name of the song may be Monster.
It's a new song, as you guys can tell. This is a brand new song. Yeah. We just talked about this literally a half hour ago, and now we're releasing it on the show and putting it on the YouTube here in a little bit.
But the concept is that even a monster can love.
Oh.
I mean, if Satan can love someone, anybody can love someone. So it doesn't matter who it is. Anybody has the capacity to love.
So when you're writing your songs, do you just write these words and then figure out the concept that you're trying to say, or do you have this concept thought up beforehand and then start writing upon that?
I usually have the concept beforehand.
What made you think of this?
I don't know. The concept of Satan being something with the capacity to love another is just interesting to me. I mean, as people look at religion in such a hard
Like
black
it's
and
all
white,
hate, it's
black
all
and
bad,
white
it's all
fashion.
hate.
Yeah, but it can be gray. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I just like the idea
have
of
to
it. If
read
you
it.
like it, you like it. I mean, like the first line is "Follow me out of the violet garden," from the gleam in his eyes. So the violet garden is Eden, the gleam in his eyes, the gleam in God's eyes. But I guess this stems from the thought that so many people out there think they're bad people or think they've done something wrong. They think they're immoral. They think they've made horrid mistakes in life, which everybody does. But that's the point. Everybody does. And you still have love and goodness inside you despite what you may think about yourself.
If anyone out there wants to learn more about Paul, has got any questions for Paul or his music, make sure you go subscribe to his page like we talked about earlier. You can find that page again. Tell them one more time how they can get a hold of you.
Noble Hangman is my label. So if you search Noble Hangman Heavy Metal, you'll find it on Google. And you can the playlist has all my songs on it. So if you click on the playlist, you'll see like 26 songs or something on there.
That's smart. That's what I've been telling people all the time. They're like, how do you get so many views and how do you get people to view your music? You don't send people one song. You send them a playlist.
Yeah, and some of the songs don't even appear. Like if you search for that, you won't see my latest song there because it hasn't had time for the Google search engine to really put its teeth into it. So you make a playlist and then they click on that and get all your stuff.
Yeah, and someone might listen to that song and then drift away and go, start sweeping the floor or something, and then another song automatically comes on instead of just that one song that you send. People don't get there's just little things like that help you. If you're trying to be an independent artist and you're trying to get ears on your stuff and you're trying to get your stuff listened to, it's hard to just word of mouth. It's just hard to do that nowadays.
And playlists even have more mechanics in that. Like if you're on Spotify or iHeartRadio or some of the other streaming services, if you put your songs in a playlist, the algorithm on Spotify, for example, looks at all the songs that are on the same playlist to identify and understand where your music belongs. So if a listener, like let's say you put on playlist with Disturbed, then people are listening to Disturbed and they're more likely to get your music because they're listening to Disturbed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So the playlists are using algorithms to help understand how music's identified.
It's neat, man. It's neat that nowadays, if you have the drive, you can make it happen. That's one thing that is different than maybe growing up earlier in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, is that you had to find a way to record then, or you had to have the money, or you had to luck up into it or find that right person. Nowadays, if you have the drive and you want to make music, it's just you. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can make it.
You got to get it. You got to do it. You got to put in the work. You might have to do everything, but it can be done if you want it, which is really neat. Paul, I appreciate you coming into the studio. I appreciate you coming by. I think it's awesome how far you've came with trying to get back into the music. It's unbelievable that you got so many songs out since the last time that we've been hanging out.
Man, I'll thank you for inviting me. And, I just play. I mean, I used to put out a song a week, and then I started putting out less often because I want to make them better. If that makes sense. So the more time you put into it, the better the song is.
Yeah, especially someone that's critical on yourself.
Yeah.
And you seem like one that's
I'm
going to
really
be
critical
very
of myself,
critical.
yeah.
And you're always trying to
Unfortunately.
better your sound and better what you're doing. That's a whole lot of fun, man. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure that you like and share this episode. Show that you care. And we will see you next time on
Live with Nick Nasty.
Nick Nasty.
Nick Nasty.